This is Cory McCarthy, and welcome to a new episode of Fit, Formidable, and Fantastic. That's right. Go F yourself, and happy Meatless Monday. Now, this week I want to cover something really dumb that a lot of my fellow vegans seem brainwashed into believing, something that keeps cropping up in my own vegan nutrition group that I help moderate on Facebook. And it's likely due to a number of factors, possibly in part because meat eaters are always picking on vegans for not getting enough of this. And that is, your body doesn't need that much protein, or something like that. And this is usually followed by too much will damage your kidneys, or some other, follow-up comment. Anyway, first, I love how overgeneralized that is. Too much. I mean, tell me, what is too much? What's the value? And don't drop the old 80-10-10 crap on me of anything over 10%, because 10% of what? Your maintenance calories, a surplus, a deficit? And if it is a surplus or a deficit, how much of one? You've got to assign a value. As I keep saying in other videos, if you're going to have a percentage, the percentage of some value. And that 10%, looking at 10% protein, for instance, will fluctuate depending on your caloric intake. In other words, 10% of 2,000 calories will be different than 3,000 or 4,000, etc. And you may, end up taking in either more than you need or less than you need, actually, depending on the caloric umbrella. So this is why I hate percentages, and I've covered this before in previous videos. So without rehashing, let's just get into the actual topic here. The amount of protein you need depends on your body and your goals. For instance, research shows that natural bodybuilders, I want to emphasize that natural because I'm not talking about people who are geared up or whatever here, but natural bodybuilders do best with a range of approximately 0.91 to 1.36 grams per pound of lean body weight per day. Whereas an endurance athlete will do well with as low as approximately 0.45 grams per pound of lean body weight per day, with more elite endurance athletes possibly needing up to 0.73 grams per pound of lean body weight a day. Now, the average person can do fine with the RDA, and the RDA is approximately 0.4 grams per pound of LBM, lean body mass, that is, a day. And so as you can see, there's a broad disparity based on your body, your output, your sport, and your goals. This is why too much is just a relative concept. It's a relative term. And it's incredibly overgeneralized. What's more, with all the macros, protein, at least in trained individuals, has been the only one demonstrated in research, which was published in 2014 in JISSN, to be incredibly thermogenic. So much so that a caloric surplus caused by protein overfeeding, and I emphasize that protein overfeeding, of nearly 5 times the RDA didn't lead to additional fat stores. That said, it had no additional benefits on body composition either. And some of you might, and just as a side note, some people have actually asked me, well, how do you, overfeed on protein alone? Well, an isolated source, for one, think about a protein powder. So I do want to reemphasize here that that was on trained individuals, that particular study. Trained individuals, not Joe Average, who does occasional lifting and whose only real involvement in sporting events is typically couch surfing with a beer in one hand and a remote control in the other. So, that all being said, in research published just this year, and that's 2015 for those of you who might catch this video later, it has been shown that high-protein diets are linked with higher good HDL cholesterol, lower BMI, and a smaller waist circumference. Now, high, according to this study, was approximately 0.45 to 0.68 grams per pound of body weight per day, which is just a little more than the RDA. And the study group was just over 25,000 U.S. adults between the years of 2001 and 2010. And all of these studies, of course, that I'm going over here are all in the description below, so if you want to drop down there and find those links, you can. Anyway, I could go on, and there's actually a good body of research out there on protein, but I wanted to stick with the recent papers, instead of diving back into things that might be a little more dated, basically, which some people do like to cite dated things because it aligns with whatever they're trying to discuss, but I wanted to stick to recent stuff here. Now, about that kidney myth, let me directly quote the words of Alan Aragon, who is a published nutrition expert. You can Google him. I've also linked his website, his official website, down below in the descriptions. And he also works with recreational, Olympic, and pro athletes. And this is from an article he penned. Now, begin quotes. Back in 1983, researchers first discovered that eating more protein increases your glomerular filtration rate, or GFR. I'm probably not pronouncing that properly. Think of GFR as the amount of blood your kidneys are filtering per minute. From this finding, many scientists made the leap that a higher GFR places your kidneys under greater stress. So you're kind of getting an idea here. This is end quotes there. You're kind of getting an idea here of where this protein myth originated. Now, begin quotes again. Nearly 2 decades ago, Dutch researchers found that while a protein-rich meal did boost GFR, it didn't have an adverse effect on overall kidney function. In fact, there is zero published research showing that downing hefty amounts of protein, specifically up to 1.27 grams per pound of body weight a day, damages healthy kidneys. And there is a key word there, healthy. And that's what I want to add to this too. If you suffer some kind of pre-existing issue or sensitivity, especially involving your kidneys, or it is a hereditary risk of some sort, then perhaps you should be mindful of not overdoing your protein intake. The advice above is really for individuals of normal health. So what are the takeaways here? Let's run down some of them. The amount of protein you require is based on your body, your activity level and type, and your goals. Higher protein intake is not associated with added body fat in trained individuals. Higher protein intake is related to better body composition and cholesterol health. Higher protein intake is not associated with kidney damage in healthy people. So good night to yet another stupid myth that vegans believe and perpetuate. Now, if you don't want to consume more than X whatever amount of protein because of some die-hard belief that you harbor, fine, that's you. But stop the fear-mongering. Anyway, I don't really have anything else to say on this. If there's anything you all would like to add or ask or what have you, please do drop it in the comments below. Otherwise, I hope you all have a good week. I'll see you on Friday for a regularly scheduled episode. Until then, stay fit, stay formidable, and stay fantastic. See you around.